Hello everyone, this is Mohammad Shahrukh speaking from your YouTube channel. And today I want to share something with you. The question is, how did I learn to speak English this way? You see, I have been teaching English learning on YouTube channel for more than 3 months. Now the question raises from the audience, how did I learn to speak English fluently like this? So be ready to know that. My name is Mohammad Shahrukh, and ever since I was a child, I was keen to learn to speak English fluently. When I was a child and I was in my school, I would read English, I would write English, and I would try to speak English. As the time passed by, as I grew older, my interest became more in learning to speak English fluently. So the methods that I have tried to learn to speak English are these. First of all, you have to be interested in learning English. Let's just say if you are someone who speaks Hindi, but you don't know how to speak English because you have never learned to try to speak English and you have never tried to write it. So this is the question that comes from you, and I am here to help you. So the answer is, you have to be interested in learning English. Once you are interested in that, you have to read English, you have to write English, and you have to speak English. But you don't know how to speak English fluently. So how to start by? First of all, basic learning English grammar is very necessary for everyone who are trying to speak English. Basic knowledge of grammar helps you to translate sentences from Hindi to English. If you are someone who are capable of understanding basic English grammar, you can translate any sentence into English from Hindi. For example, if I say, "Tum kahan rehte ho?" If I know how to translate this sentence into English from Hindi, I will be able to translate that. So I know how to translate this. So I would translate it this way. First of all, I use interrogative word. Then I will use do or does. Then I will use subject, then verbs, first form, and then object, etc. So this is the way that I will use to translate sentence from Hindi to English. So how can I do this? How do I know how to translate this sentence from Hindi to English? Because I know English grammar. I have been trying to read English grammar for a long time. As a teacher, I have been practicing English grammar for a long time. So it is easy for me to translate this sentence from Hindi to English. So if you know the grammar, you can translate any sentence from Hindi to English. Second thing, practice speaking English. Now, everyday speaking helps you to build your confidence, to build your stamina of English speaking. If you don't know English, how to speak English every day? You say, "I don't know how to speak English, Shahrukh. How can I say? How can I speak with someone in English?" I have same answer that I have given to my students before. And the answer is, if you don't know how to speak English, you might know some words of English. For example, you know how to say "आप कैसे हो" in English. आप कैसे हो को अंग्रेजी में कहते हैं "How are you?" So if you know this sentence, you can speak this sentence every day. For example, you come to me and you see me and you say, "How are you, sir? How are you, Shahrukh?" I say, "I am fine, thank you." If you speak it every day and day by day, this is going to be fluent for you to speak this sentence every day. And you will memorize this sentence and you can speak this sentence anywhere, anytime because you are fluent with this. See, this is the way to speak English confidently. Now what you have to do is, just like you remember this sentence, "How are you?" You can learn more sentences. For example, in my video, I give you some sentences. In my older videos, I gave you so many sentences to speak every day. So you learn all those sentences, 5 sentences, 10 sentences a day, and you try to speak those sentences every day. So you can guess, one might guess 10 sentences a day, it becomes 60 sentences a week. In a week, you can memorize 60 sentences in English language to speak every day. And what a great achievement for someone who tries to learn to speak English fluently like you. So this is the best way to speak English in confidently. See, a third thing is vocabulary. Vocabulary means the amount of words that you have memorized in your brain. For example, I have memorized 10 words, 10 meanings every this day in my mind. I have memorized that दरवाजे को अंग्रेजी में डोर कहते हैं, खिड़की को अंग्रेजी में विंडो कहते हैं, मेज को अंग्रेजी में टेबल कहते हैं, फर्श को फ्लोर कहते हैं, छत को रूफ कहते हैं, लड़के को बॉय कहते हैं, लड़की को गर्ल कहते हैं, पिता को फादर कहते हैं और माँ को मदर कहते हैं. So this way I have memorized more than 10 words a day. Now this is called the vocabulary that you can memorize every day. Excuse me. So if you memorize these words, then next time when you try to speak English and you say, तुम्हारे पिता कैसे हैं? You will say, how is your father? How can I say, how is your father? Because I know father को अंग्रेजी में फादर को हिंदी में पिता कहते हैं और पिता को अंग्रेजी में फादर कहते हैं. तो नेक्स्ट टाइम जब आप बोलोगे कि आपके पिता कैसे हैं तो आप अटकोगे नहीं, आप हिचकिचाओगे नहीं, बिकॉज यू नो इंग्लिश में आपने कहना है हाउ इज़ योर फादर. आप कैसे कह पाए? हाउ कैन यू से दैट? बिकॉज आपको पता था. सो वोकैबुलरी आपकी जितनी अच्छी होगी, आप जब भी अंग्रेजी बोलोगे उसमें कभी भी आप अटकोगे नहीं. सो वोकैबुलरी means a lot. It allows you to speak English fluently. It allows you not to be hesitated in between your conversation with somebody. Right? Now the fourth thing is you need someone who can talk to you in English language. For example, like I am your friend. You can come to me, you can talk to me in English language in order to learn to speak English fluently. I will talk to you in English language. You will talk to me in English language. Now, if you make an error in the conversation, if you make mistake, I will tell you this is a mistake that you do while making conversation. If I do the mistake, you will come to me, you say, this is a mistake that you make while having conversation. Now, this thing, making conversation with each other, builds confidence, builds, makes you mistakes free. The next time you say you try to speak to me something in English language, you won't make that mistake because I have already told you about that mistake. So you talk to me in English language and you are not making the same mistake that you have done before. So conversation with someone means a great thing for everybody who wants to learn to speak English. So try to find someone who can talk to you in English language. You can find anybody who don't even know how to speak English, who is your friend, but you want to talk to him in English language in order to learn to speak English. It does not matter. It does not make any sense. It's not necessary that I'm your friend, you talk to me in English language, I should know how to speak English. I don't know. For example, I don't know. I'm a man who can speak only Hindi. I don't know how to speak English. But you talk to me as a friend. You make mistake, I tell you. I make mistake, you tell me. Just in order to learn to speak English. So it doesn't matter if I don't know how to speak English. We are learning. This is a practice that makes you perfect in English speaking. So if you want to learn to speak English, these are all the methods that you can use to learn to speak English fluently like a native speaker. Now, there are so many accents in English language. What are the accents? Accents are the way. These are the styles that many people in the world who speak English use. For example, if I am living in America, I have the different accent. If I talk to you, I say, "How are you?" As an Indian, I am living in India and I talk to you, "How are you?" So my accent is very clear. You listen to me, you understand this is from the India, but he's trying to speak English. I get this. I understand that. But if I am from America, when I speak English language, it sounds different. How are you? How are you? Hey. So the way I spoke English, the way I sound words, these are called the accents, and accents are different. Irish accent, English accent, American accent, German accent. There are so many accents in English language, they are different languages. Okay. So we have to understand that if you want to speak English and if you want to learn to speak English in different accents, there are some other ways that we will discuss in my further videos. Okay. So I hope you understand everything I said to you. Now, this is Muhammad Shahrukh speaking. Thank you so much for listening to my videos. Thank you so much for listening to me. And if you want to learn to speak English, you can subscribe my channel, like the video, share the videos, and wait for my next video. Until then, thank you so much. Goodbye.